For the lower body foundations, again, these are the building blocks of all the moves that we do. There's two main ones that we perform. The first is the Danyu. Danyu literally means the stretching of the spine. We're going to be sitting. This is a sitting exercise. So for this one, we're going to spread the feet a little further apart. The toes are angled out. Previously, we made sure they were about shoulder width apart and straight parallel ahead. This time, we're going to take a little step out and let the toes angle out as well. Usually ladies will need a slightly wider stance. We're going to sit down. That's it. Weight stays centered in the feet. And we sit, flexing the ankles, the knees and the hips. We push the floor away with the bottom of the foot and rise back up. You don't need to sit down very far. A high sit is a good sit, however far is comfortable to you. The further down you go, the further up you have to rise. The hands are coming along with the spine. They rise and sink. Up and down. This is a sitting exercise, so just like sitting in a chair, you're going to have to relax the tailbone. When you sit in a chair, your rump finds the seat. We don't try to keep the back vertical. The back will become stretching at a diagonal angle, and that's totally what we want. We're going to sit down, push the floor away to stand back up. Sink and rise. That's our Danyu. The other lower body exercise we do is called the Toryu. This is the turning of the spine. And this one, we're going to make sure that we line up the feet in what we call a Tai Chi Step in this style. And that means the feet are going to be 45 degrees apart. If you start with your feet side by side, pivot 1 to 45 degrees, step out straight with the other, that's the foot position we're looking for. So in this case, I'm going to start with my feet side by side, pivot the right foot to 45 degrees, put the weight into that hip, step straight out with the other one. Make sure that I've stepped out straight. A mirror helps a lot, or if you use the lines in the floor, that helps too. So what we're doing in this move, shifting the weight from foot to foot and matching the angle of the torso with the angle of the feet. So as a little more weight is in the back foot, my body is positioned at 45 degrees, matching my back foot. We shift the weight a little into the front foot, a little more. Now my body is at the same angle as the front foot. That's all we're going to do. We shift the weight, the back knee bends, back hip is flexed, everything's at 45. I shift the weight, my body turns, my hip is flexed, knee is flexed in the front leg, everything's square to the front. That's all we're doing. It's a little weight shift. The turn happens as the weight shift happens. Sink into the back, stand up and turn, sink into the front. The back knee bends, I'm at 45. Stand up and turn, front knee bends, I'm square to the front. That's it. This is again Toryu, the turning of the spine. Sit and sit. One leg at a time. We'll do as many as we feel comfortable, then switch to the other side. Set it up the same way. The feet are side by side. Pivot the left foot to 45 degrees. Put the weight into that hip. Step straight with the other foot. Step back a bit so we're on camera. Push to the front. Shift the weight. Down. Up and down. Very relaxing. Again, this is a foundation exercise. This movement is found in most of the moves inside the set as you go through doing Muay style Tai Chi. Just like with the Danyu, we don't have to sit down very far. So make sure that we're relaxing all the joints in the lower body, hip, knee, and ankle. I'm going to do a few more standing facing this direction. So again, you can see there's 5 principles in our form. We want to make sure there's 45 degrees between the feet. We want to see a nice setup of the foot. 45 between, step straight with the front foot. We also want to have this perpendicular of the front shin to the floor. What we don't want to have is our knees blocking the view of the toes. This puts a lot of stress on your knee, so back it up. It should be perpendicular to the floor, even when we're pushing forward. When we're in that position, hopefully you can see there's a straight line down the back, from the back of the head to the heel. I'm not trying to keep my back vertical. This is actually not very pleasant. So we want to keep a straight line down the back. As we're doing these exercises, we're going to stay square. What does that mean? My torso, hips and shoulders are lined up in the same direction as my feet in this case with my front foot, which is square. And in the back with the back foot, which is 45. So torso's square, lined up with the front foot. Torso's 45 degrees, lined up with the back foot. The 5th principle is strengthen the hands. Our hands always have power and strength. This is where our chi, our intention is flowing. So as we go through a move, like for instance brush knee, you can see each of the 5 principles in play. Equal and opposite strength in the hands. The body is squared. There's a perpendicular line between the floor and my shin. There's 45 degrees between the feet and a straight line down the back from heel to head. Well, I hope you enjoyed doing the lower body foundations with me. Thanks a lot.